Leo declared a young computer expert the first millennial Catholic saint. 15-year-old Carlo Acutis, who died in 2006, was canonized during a mass in St. Peter's Square today. The Italian teen, known as God's influencer, used technology to spread his faith.
This is an incredible moment. I'm just so happy to be able to share it with you. As a millennial myself, Carlo is just a few years younger than I am. This is one who represents really what it means to live a life well in the Catholic Church. I think so many people think that being a saint is boring, it's being sleepy, it's not being engaged, and we see just the opposite. So it's a day of great celebration and joy as we have many tens of thousands of young people here at the Vatican.
An Italian man was also made a saint. Both ceremonies were postponed earlier this year following Pope Francis's death in April.
Now, Acutis died in 2006 at the age of just 15 from leukemia, and this canonization is the first presided at by Pope Leo, the first American pontiff. Now, during his short life, Acutis set up a website to document Eucharistic miracles, and after his death, a following started to develop to him.
I felt like he related to me because he found a way to use technology and love God at the same time.
To become a saint in the Catholic Church, you normally need 2 miracles attributed to your intercession. In Acutis' case, a boy in Brazil with a birth defect, which meant he couldn't eat, was reportedly cured after prayers were made to Carlo Acutis, and a 21-year-old woman from Costa Rica who had a bicycle accident in Florence was also reportedly cured after prayers were said to Carlo Acutis. Now, his canonization comes as surveys show a rise in interest amongst Gen Z in Catholicism in the US and the UK.
Now to a remarkable honor for a teen. He was canonized today by the Catholic Church.
Yeah, the 15-year-old became the first millennial saint today. The scene unfolding in St. Peter's Square. Local 10's Walter Murphy is live outside of St. Martha Catholic Parish in Miami Shores with the story. Walter.
Well, hey, Alexis and Christian, the mass that started around 9:30, it just got done just a moment ago. But the people that I talked to as they were going inside, they were very excited about that new saint that was just named today. Now, he is the first millennial saint to be canonized. His name is Carlo Acutis. Now, he was born in 1991, and he used his passion for digital media to document and champion Eucharistic miracles on the internet. And that earned him the informal title of God's influencer. Now, his canonization today drew an estimated crowd of about 80,000 people to St. Peter's Square. Now, in that crowd was a group of diocese teachers as well. Now, we caught up with them through video chat a little earlier, right there, again, in St. Peter's Square, and their excitement was palpable.
I think it's because Carlo Acutis is a millennial. He's a young man, and so he resonates with our students. He resonates with the teachers. It could be anyone that's in one of our classrooms. So I think it just provides a personal connection to the church, and it's someone who's relatable again, not only to young adults but to moms, dads, sisters, brothers. It's someone that everyone can understand him and get to know him.
Now, back here in Miami Shores, Mass is just letting out, but the people who were here earlier that we got to talk to, they said that the unofficial, again, patron saint of the internet will usher in a new era for younger believers. We're going to have more from them coming up in about an hour.
Pope Leo XIV celebrated Mass in St. Peter's Square September 7th for the canonizations of Pier Giorgio Frassati and Carlo Acutis.
Beatus Petrum Georgium Frassati et Carolum Acutis, sanctus esse discernimus et definimus, ac sanctorum Cathologo ascribimus. Statuentes eius in universa ecclesia, inter sanctus pia devotione reculit debere.
In his homily, Pope Leo urged young people to live wisely and passionately for God by embracing the cross, prayer, charity, and holiness.
I santi Pier Giorgio Frassati e Carlo Acutis sono un invito rivolto a tutti noi, soprattutto ai giovani, a non sciupare la vita, ma a orientarla verso l'alto e a farne un capolavoro. Si incoraggiano con le loro parole, non io, ma Dio, diceva Carlo. E Pier Giorgio, se avrai Dio per centro di ogni tua azione, allora arriverai fino alla fine. Questa è la formula semplice, ma vincente della loro santità. Ed è pure la testimonianza che siamo chiamati a seguire per gustare la vita fino in fondo e andare incontro al Signore nella festa del cielo.
Oggi è una festa bellissima per tutta l'Italia, per tutta la Chiesa, per tutto il mondo.
Entrambi, Pier Giorgio e Carlo, hanno coltivato l'amore per Dio e per i fratelli attraverso mezzi semplici, alla portata di tutti. Carlo diceva, davanti al sole ci si abbronza, davanti all'Eucaristia si diventa santi.
Sicuramente allora per me come italiano poi è un santo molto vicino ai miei giorni, no? Io sono un po' più piccolo di lui, però è stato bello scoprire la sua santità anche attraverso quando sono stato a Assisi, quando ho visitato Assisi nel pellegrinaggio, no? Scoprire la sua vita, la sua storia anche attraverso il quotidiano, nella scuola, nello studio anche, no? Attraverso anche quello sentito di esperienza dei suoi professori, i suoi insegnanti, come la sua gioia, la sua luce portava felicità intorno a lui. Quindi per me personalmente come italiano, anche sui social che adesso sono molto usati, è importante averlo come influencer dei giovani sicuramente.
Pope Leo has declared Carlo Acutis as the Catholic Church's first millennial saint. The canonization ceremony happening just hours ago in St. Peter's Square. Thousands attended that mass honoring the late teen. Acutis died of leukemia in 2006 when he was just 15 years old. The Italian team, nicknamed God's Influencer, taught himself to code and built websites to spread his faith. A delegation from Chicago blessed Carlo Acutis Parish, traveling to Rome for today's celebration.
How to become a saint in 9 not-so-easy steps. The Catholic Church has its first millennial saint, Carlo Acutis. Here's how the process works. Step 1, live. No miracles required just yet, but a lifetime of what the Church calls heroic virtue is a must. Step 2, die. There's no way around this part. Saints, by definition, are no longer alive. Step 3, wait at least 5 years. There's some flexibility, but the cooling off period helps keep things in perspective. Step 4, get nominated. Typically, a local bishop gathers evidence and presents it to the Vatican. Step 5, pass Vatican review. Vatican researchers do their own investigation. Then, if everything checks out and the Pope approves, the candidate is considered venerable. Step 6, perform a miracle. To be clear, the miracle has to occur after the prospective saint has died. Step 7, get blessed. After that first miracle is verified, the Pope beatifies or blesses the candidate. Step 8, perform another miracle. This seals the deal. Step 9, canonization. The Pope makes it official and a new saint is named.
The entrance procession has now entered into St. Peter's Square as we see Pope Leo descending the stairs to where the altar is set up.
Good afternoon. This is Sundays with Sky. I'm your host, Sky. All right, here we're going into this story. Oh my goodness gracious. This is just special. I wanted to talk to Dr. Jerome Brooke about this so bad. Why is there a happy saint? There's a smiling saint now. He's a millennial. He died when he was 15 years old in 2006. He, as you just saw in the clip I just played, it gives you the pathway to sainthood. You have to live, then you have to die, then you have to have 2 miracles in your name after your death. They have to be confirmed, quote unquote. They have to be verified that you prayed to. His name was oh god damn it, Acutis, Carlos Acutis, I think it is. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, Carlo Acutis. Excuse me, Carlo Acutis. He is the youngest, I think, saint of all time. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken, but he's definitely the first millennial saint to be canonized by the Pope. This is just what the CEO of witch doctordom, I guess you can say, the witch doctor in chief. You can do things like this because there's nobody gonna there is no God. There is no God. So you can do. I mean, humans can have the ability to craft these myths and ideas all day long. Doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's real. But there's weight to it. It's kind of like the idea of like what's heavier, a 2,000-pound anvil or a 2,000-pound bag of feathers. Well, the 2,000-pound bag of feathers and the anvil weigh the same weight. They have the same weight. One is just feathers, one is an anvil. But I think if you drop 2,000 pounds of feathers on somebody, I don't know if it will have the same effect. It probably wouldn't have the same effect if you had an anvil dropped on somebody's head that was 2,000 pounds. I digress. I'm doing something new. This is just a little bit of housekeeping. I'm not answering anybody's questions or comments unless they have $5 to my Cash App. And then my Cash App has, I'll see you, if you are serious enough. I'm serious about this. This isn't play time. This is all work to me. This is getting money. This is, sustaining my life. If you want, it's trading value for value. If you find value in my words and you want to stay on and watch me, then you should be able to give up at least $5 and to get a question off. I might just start doing just like if you do $5, you can have unlimited questions. Or mark like saying $5. You have to do it at least. Every question is at least $5. If you do $10, it's like two. You get 2 free, or you get 2. If you do $20 or $50 or $100, you can have unlimited questions and comments and whatever you want to relay to me. So that's it. That's just a little housekeeping. Let's get to this whole computer whiz who dedicated his life to Christ, to Jesus. Hallelujah. In the name of the Father, in the name of the blood. And was canonized. 19 years later, not too bad, I guess. But you have to be dead. That's the thing. I always thought about Dr. Jerome Brooke because he always said, have you ever seen a happy saint? This is the first time I've seen a happy saint. They have pictures of Carlo. It's not like he's beaming, but he's got like a little smirk on his face. He's got that little smirk. I'm like, oh man, Dr. Brooke, man, we got our first saint who's smiling. They're not, bleeding and weeping and moaning and gnashing their teeth and, having a terrible life like Mother Teresa. This guy was just on the computer. He just found a way to program. He found a way to institute different pathways for people to find Christendom, to be saved, to be within the realm of understanding what it means to be a Catholic, in that specific way. hoodies riding up on me. But that's it. That's the reality. That's what's so true. That's what stands. Billions of people, billions. And it's like the channels. It's all it is channels. It's the same TV, same internet program, same different, same Wi-Fi. God is the Wi-Fi. There is no God, but God is the Wi-Fi. You can be a Baptist, you can be a Methodist, you can be Episcopalian, you can be Catholic. They're all worshiping that same God. You can be Islamic. You're praying to God. They call it Allah. They call him Allah, but they're really just praying to God. There's no God but Allah. What about Judaism? They pray to God. They did G-D. That's how serious they are about their God. They don't even say God. They say G-D in writing. On this Sunday, this first Sunday of of September, that's amazing. That's extraordinary. That is absolutely extraordinary. How the fact that he got canonized, 19 years after his death, first millennial saint. I don't even know if was there a Gen X. There probably was. There probably were. Gen X, and I'm sure there were baby boomer saints. But first millennial, next is Gen Z. They're waiting for Gen Z. And then you have to wait. Oh, I can't wait to be saint. I can't wait to die. It's a strange kind of situation. It's like, and you don't want to be like, I want to be a saint. Nobody says, oh, I'm going to be a saint one day. Yeah, I have an ambition. It's like you have a drive to be a saint. It doesn't work like that. It's like they go through that long process. A bishop usually nominates. They do their quote unquote research. They do their fact finding and try to see whether this is actually a specific case where we can say that the person in question can actually still be a saint. I'm gonna go to a clip. This is just flips. It just throws me for a loop. Just throws me for a loop. This whole thing
doesn't happen often, and now local Catholics are honoring the life of a young man who's about to become a saint. A mural of Blessed Carlo Acutis is on display at St. Basil the Great Parish in East Point. Tomorrow in Vatican City, he will be canonized, becoming a saint after being beatified. The mural is made of more than 16,000 Legos. Carlo Acutis was born in 1991 and died in 2006 of a very aggressive form of leukemia. He was 15 years old. He was born in Britain to Italian parents. He'll become the first millennial saint.
He was just a normal kid, and our exhibit showcases that he's a normal kid, and he did regular things like played video games. He loved his favorite food was Nutella. He could relate on so many levels. He was a sports fan. He played on a soccer team.
And the Catholic Church has recognized 2 miracles attributed to Acutis. In 2020, his spirit is credited with curing a child's disease in the pancreas. In 2024, Pope Francis attributed the cure of a woman's brain hemorrhage and low chance of survival to prayers made at the tomb of Carlo Acutis. Now, the church in East Point has 2 masses tomorrow, 8:30 and 10:30 in the morning. The exhibit will be on display until 4 p.m.
I don't know. Their miracles are kind of like they pray at his tomb, so that becomes a miracle. Really? Okay. Jesus turned water into wine. He served lunch. He's good for dinner parties. He's good for lunches. He served 5,000 people with 1 loaf of bread and some fish. He's great. He's great for if you want to cater. He could have had his own catering business as a side to being a carpenter. I just it's very strange, very, very strange, very, very, very goofy stuff, very creepy stuff. Because I used to be in this camp. I wasn't a Catholic, but I was in the camp of believing in God. I seriously believed in God. I prayed on my knees every night. I, in fact, prayed for a better relationship with my brother's father, not my father, but my brother's father, who I have nothing to do with at all whatsoever, still don't, never will, and for the foreseeable future. And I used to pray to God. I used to say, "Can let us have a understanding between each other. Let's be better." Of course, they're prayers. They're just spoken words, or even in your ideas in your mind. It's not concrete, sincere, serious, actual facts and reality and existence. It's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. And like I said, this is look at the two saints on the right side. I think is that Jesus? I think that might be Jesus. And then that might be Mary. I'm not sure. Somebody, Saint Mary. But Acutis, he's got like a little grin on his face. He looks like he's wearing a backpack. He's got a collared shirt. They called him the patron. Well, he's now, I guess, the patron saint of the internet, or they called him one of the leaders of technology, computer technology to be specific, and he just showed that in his life. Sadly, leukemia took his life, but I don't know, the two miracles involved, one with a child with pancreatic cancer or pancreatic disease. I was say a disease with the pancreas, and a woman whose skull was fractured in a some kind of automobile incident. I think it was some kind of collision, and they attribute all of that, their recovery, to the fact that this kid, he was only 15 years old. This kid, he did whatever mojo magic spells go on with prayer, and they became whole and better again. I mean, nothing about science, nothing about reason, nothing about doctors, nothing about the handmaiden to faith, reason. So many centuries and millennia. We get the science. We understand their science. We have to recognize their science. They hardly ever say that there's reason. Reason is too harsh, way too sharp, way too cuts to the bone. But they'll say, "Oh yeah, science. Oh yeah, we understand their science. We have to understand. You go to school, you can be a Catholic biochemist. You can be a Catholic nuclear physicist. You can be a Catholic physician. We get the science, but what is the root of what is the main source of the science?" Ayn Rand once said that the trees in the forest of philosophy, the trees in the forest are the sciences, the different things like medicine, chemistry, physics, biology, stuff like that. All of that. Those are the trees. The soil is philosophy. You don't get those trees without being in the soil. You will not get those trees. You have to have reason. You have to have knowledge. You have to have everything that's in the soil to get to those trees. Nobody talks about the soil. Everybody's walking all over it. You don't really realize, wow, if I don't have the soil, there's nothing under my feet. I'm floating in air. I'm not even, there's nothing there. But God damn it, Dr. Jerome Brook, man, we got one. We got one. We got a smiling saint. He often talks about that in his talks. And he talks about that all the time. He said, "Have you ever seen a smiling saint?" And like now we got, well, God damn it, we got a smiling saint. It's crazy. It's real though. It's not even like a game. It's like serious. It's sad because it's still part of the Catholic Church. The church is so backwards and so unbelievably, inept in a lot of ways that you have to die in order to be celebrated, to be I don't even know if the word is celebrated because they don't want to. It's too. I'm gonna get to it in the next half hour, but it gets too. It's too much. It's just I don't. Let's not talk about it like that. Let's not say it. So I'm gonna just do other clips because I can't find anything for what I'm gonna be saying. But it goes along with. Excuse me. Hold on. It goes along with. Oh God. I just exited out. Daggone it.
Doesn't happen often, and now local doesn't happen often, and now.
So this is a complete reversal of Mother Teresa, who is often seen as the absolute be all and end all of saints. She's like the number one saint on everybody's mind, I think, in the 20th and 21st centuries. She had such a different way of conveying herself, and she was miserable her whole life. Her whole life during her missions in Calcutta, I think it was. She just was so horribly down in the dumps, as I think it's the technical term. I want to say I don't know if she was depressed. I'm not her physician. I wasn't her psychologist or psychiatrist, but she wrote in her diaries, "This sucks." Like, she didn't say that literally, but she said, "This is like the worst thing I can ever experience. I don't like this. This is horrible, but I have to do it. This is God's mission for me." That's what her whole point was. And I don't know about the miracles that she performed, but they're probably close to what happened with Acutis. I'm sure they're very similar. They have a similar kind of understanding. The fact that you have to be dead. You have to be dead. That's automatic. That's automatically forfeits the idea of proper relations with humanity. That completely forfeits you. You have to be dead to be a saint. You can't be allowed. Yeah, I'm a saint. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's cool. I got a seat at every restaurant, 5-star, 3, 4, 5-star Michelin restaurants. I get my own seat. I go to the front line at the Super Bowl. I can be right in the front in the stands. I have my own box. Sky box. It's great. It's wonderful. I love being a saint. It's great. No, it's like you have to be dead. You can't be alive. You have to be dead. So, I mean, even with his smile, even with his smirk, it's not like the full-on Colgate smile, teeth showing. It's just like, I'm cool. I'm all right. Just a little hint of a smile. Just a kind of a little bit of an afterthought of a smile, creeping on his face. That's what's so damaging to me. That's what's so horrible. So I'll go back to this video and this should wrap everything up.
Definitely, Carlo was an ordinary child like everybody. I used to play, to have friends, to go to school. But his extraordinary was the fact that he opened the door of his heart to Jesus, and he put Jesus at the first place in his life.
Ataque auctoritate Dei omnipotentis apostolorum Petri et Pauli ac nostra decernimus ut beatus Petrus Georgius Frassati una cum beato Carlo Acutis die septimo mensis septembris anno sancto bis millesimo vicesimo quinto.
A new saint.
Okay. I'll go back to that because I wanted to talk about the idea of pride. Pride. It's one of the 7 deadly vices. It's evil. It's nasty. Nobody wants to be too proud to beg or whatever. You know, no one wants to be prideful. No one wants to be proud unless you're a proud American, a proud dad, a proud sister, a proud fisherman, a proud teacher, a proud dog walker, a proud school bus driver, a proud architect, a proud anything. You can say that. That's okay. That's a different kind of pride. That's different. That's like saying you have enough ideas about your self-esteem. So you can say, see, words are strange. They can shift and mean other things and say other things. If you say, oh, he has self-esteem, that's okay. That's good. He esteems himself. He sees himself as worthy of living. Great. They may not say that. Nobody says, oh, he thinks of himself worthy of living. They just think he's confident in himself and he's aware of himself and he doesn't hurt other people, but he tries to make sure he gets the best out of life. Okay, understood. But if you say somebody's selfish, oh my God. Now you're saying fighting words. You're saying something serious. That's selfish. Oh my God. It's like a cut to the throat. Saying somebody's selfish. How could you say that when selfishness and self-esteem are the same exact thing? And they're all related to pride. I just came back from church today. The pastor had a word again about pride. He has a series about pride. He was saying how pride is, a poison. It's detrimental to your health. It's in its varying degrees. It's ugly. It's nasty. Nobody wants to be prideful. No, and then they make that distinction. Oh, I'm proud, but I'm not prideful. As if there's a saying. Oh, what is that? It's sparkling water, not uncarbonated water. It's still water. It's just not carbonated. Or I don't even know if that's the best analogy because it's still the same thing. Prideful and proud are the same exact thing. I guess they're both water. It's just like prideful has just got a little bit of effervescence to it. So, the best way to convey this message is to show you that you can't see any of the saints. They're all dead. Every saint. There's over 10,000. There's somewhere in the ballpark of 10,000 saints that have been canonized over I guess almost a millennia or centuries. There have been 10,000 at least. So I would say, pride, as espoused by Aristotle, is the crown of all virtues. And according to Ayn Rand, it is moral ambitiousness. It is a proving that you are worthy of life, that you are worthy to live, that you have made yourself morally perfect, and that you are of sound mind and sound body to know, you don't have to be sound body, but definitely sound mind, to know that you are worthy of living on this planet, living in this universe, living whatever. And that you interact with other people pridefully, proudly. That you don't cower, that you don't say, oh, I'm so humble, modest, meek, and mild. I'm nothing. I'm just a little mouse. I'm not even... what Ayn Rand also popularized was the shmoo. That was in a cartoon installment. It was a character that was eaten or let itself be eaten by anybody that came across it. It was an altruist. And altruism and pride are complete and utter diametric opposites. They are completely on the opposite side of each other. So to be proud, you have to earn it. It's all about earning. This is tough. It's in every aspect of your life, in your career, in your personal life, in everything you do, every action you take. This is why objectivism is demanding, but it's not impossible. It's like flying I would imagine it's like flying a rocket ship. People are well trained. People, the personnel are have vast amounts of knowledge. They know what they're doing. They know how to pilot. They know how to raise different plants in space, and all kinds of different experiments and things of that nature. And they know what they're doing because they have the mind for it. You have to have the mind for it. You have to have your apparatus. You have to have your thinking apparatus intact in order to deal with the many, 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 many aspects of life that are very challenging, like dealing with other human beings. I have trouble dealing with other human beings. I like this space right now I have right now, just me. It's all by myself. But I was the best all-around male of my high school class, so I know what it's like to deal with other people at the same time. I can go in and be cordial and kind and meet people at a level, and just the rhetoric, the weird, the language, even Mr. Troy Terrain said about when he was reading Anthem, he was like, what is this weird ish? He was like, what is this? What is all this? But by the time he understood it, he was like, whoa. It just, but I don't know when the exact moment is, but when I can name the book. The Virtue of Selfishness is the book. What got me there was Mr. Troy Terrain's Objective Hate. When I read The Virtue of Selfishness for the first time, I was blown away. I was like, this is it. And then when I got to the fiction, I got to Anthem and The Fountainhead and We the Living and finally Atlas Shrugged. I was like, I'm on a course now that cannot be reversed. And there were times where I felt like I can't do it. I honestly felt like there were points in my life where I was like, I cannot do this. This is too much for me. This is way too heavy. This is a lot to do. I can't, but I couldn't go back. It was like, I can't go back knowing what I know now. I can't go back to Jesus. I can't go back to God. That means that sacrifice and altruism are true. That means that, tearing down, yourself in order to edify others is good. And then they'll say, no, that's not what it means. That's not what we mean. No, that's not what we mean. That's exactly what it means. That's altruism. That's what it means. It means putting a higher value in the position of a lower value, putting that lower value above the higher value. That's what that means. So I'm gonna show some more clips because it kind of ties into what I'm saying about pride.
In jeans and a sweatshirt.
Carlo is a sign of hope.
Carlo Acutis, an Italian teenager who died in 2006 from leukemia, is credited for 2 miracles, helping heal a young boy and a woman. The late Pope Francis cleared the path for his sainthood. Pope Leo will make him Saint Acutis, his first canonization as pontiff in St. Peter's Square. Carlo's mom will be there too. He loved playing video games, then used those computer skills to engage other young Catholics.
The first Catholic saint of the millennial generation will be canonized this weekend. Carlo Acutis will now be elevated to sainthood at.
And I want to make clear, I did have a mentioning of the youngest saints. They were actually canonized in 2017. And before in 19 hold on. Yeah, okay. The youngest officially recognized saint is likely to Saint Maria Goretti, who died at age 11 in 1902. While other very young saints exist, Maria Goretti's young age and martyrdom make her one of the most well-known youngest saints, though the earliest records can make absolute certainty difficult. So that's the pattern that we're running here. Let me see.
A ceremony here in St. Peter's Square at the Vatican tomorrow. Our Chris Livesay is there right now. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. Well, canonizations usually take lifetimes. Joan of Arc had to wait nearly 500 years. But at just 15 years old, 19 years after he died, Carlo Acutis is set to become the first millennial saint.
He wore jeans and Nikes and loved to write computer code. Now Carlo Acutis is on the threshold of sainthood. As a preteen, he started building a website cataloging miracles around the world. It went viral, spreading his name far beyond Assisi, the final resting place of St. Francis, and soon another saint as well. Father Anthony Figueiredo is a CBS News Vatican consultant.
Born 1991, incredible kid in many ways, genius with the internet, but at the same time, this passion of life, passion for holiness. Died tragically at the age of 15 in 2006, and now this phenomenon following that is worldwide now.
What started like the flu was in fact a rapid form of leukemia. Just 4 days after he was diagnosed, he was gone.
He likes animal.
For his mother, mourning was transformed into a calling to see Carlo Acutis, her son, become Carlo Acutis, the saint, unlike any other saint in history.
Their mothers were not around to find out that their children were becoming saints. You are.
This is a choice of God.
But what does it feel like? I mean, to
I
see
have
the
to be a
relics,
witness.
to see the relics of your son, to see the body relic. I mean, that's a very...
that is part of the church since the beginning.
But that's not normally what a mother can experience when they lose a son.
But I have luckily the faith. So this, and I believe, I really believe there is an afterlife, there is God, the Virgin Mary, the angels. So I don't find this strange.
But questions remain about whether sainthood has come too quickly. Some Vatican watchers point to the family's wealth and relentless promotion of his cause, even producing a movie about his life and legacy. The Catholic Church says its requirements have been met, starting with miracles attributed to Acutis, from healing a boy's pancreas in Brazil to saving the life of a girl after a bike accident.
The church says we need facts. And the facts come through the miracles, through the groundswell of following that we have seen.
Let me stop him right there. Facts through miracles. That's like marshmallows through skyscrapers. Like, what? That's the exact opposite of fact. It's not even the same. It's not even like the same ideal. They're not even close. And they know, and anybody would know that any honest person, he wasn't very honest right there. Any honest person will say, well, there's miracles and there's facts, and one's for God and one's for the world, and like they say for Caesar, render under Caesar what is Caesar, and render under God what is God's. Like they understood the distinction between reality and life, and then the alleged belief in some deity or deities. That's all that's happening here. That's all that's happening. But anyway, the thing, I think you have to die. Like I said, you have to die to become a saint. Because if you were alive, like I said, you would just walk around. Yes, I'm a saint. Yes, pray to me. I'm a saint. I'm a saint. That's the weird thing too, because it's like we give away the Medal of Honor. We're not giving it away. I don't want to say give it away. We bestow, we honor with the Medal of Honor the highest military medal in our history, and we bestow the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor an American can have. So understood. You can say, hey, you got a Medal of Honor, salute. Like even officers have to salute first, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me, my dumb ass, if I'm wrong. But officers have to salute Medal of Honor recipients who've earned their medals. Presidential Medal of Freedom. I mean, I don't know if anybody in the military has to salute them. I don't know if that's true, but they can say, "Hey, look, I have a Presidential Medal of Freedom. I have a Presidential Medal of Freedom. What, you know what I can do with this, right?" Like that's the thing. It's like, you know what it is. So pride, though, pride. That's the thing. You can be proud. You should be proud if you get a Medal of Honor. You should be proud if you get a Presidential Medal of Freedom. You mean you don't have to go around boasting? That's something different. Being a braggart, that's something different. Being, qualified boasting is okay, I would imagine. And you would probably just say yes, and you would just affirm, yes, I have a Medal of Honor. Yes, I have a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Yes, I am a saint. They can't do that though, because they have to be dead first. That's one of the criteria. You have to be a dead person. You have to be a corpse in order to be a saint. And you can't, otherwise you'd be too proud. You'd be too proud to be, you say, I'm a saint, please. Away with you, away. Get out of my pathway, my righteous walk. I'm a saint. You have to bow down and pray to me. So that's the weirdness about faith and pride. Pride is a beautiful thing. It is a great thing. It is what makes anybody possible. Try not to have pride with your romantic lover, with your romantic person. Try not to be proud. Try not to have an ego. Try not to have selfishness. Try not to be proud in the bedroom. See how far you get. See how much action you have by not being proud behind closed doors. You should be proud, of course, behind closed doors, in front of doors, all around the whole place, everywhere. You should be spreading the message of pride and how great it is and how wonderful it is and how life-sustaining pride is. Just imagine the doctor. Oh, I can't work on her, or if I do work on her, I have to pray to Jesus. I can't be proud. I can't be proud of my work without being proud first of the fact that Jesus is the Lord and Savior of my life. So I can't perform the surgery. I can't do it because I might become too proud. I've spent 12 years in school and another additional 2 to 4 years in private practice, and now I'm at another level. I have multiple degrees from Harvard, Yale, Brown, Princeton, and other Ivy Leagues, Columbia. University of Pennsylvania. I think I got him at Cornell. I think I got everything. I got everybody. But I might have missed one, so forgive me if I missed one. But the pride thing just really, it's just so sad that people are just, they live their life one way in their thoughts, and then in another way in their words and deeds. They have a completely different compulsion to go after pride, but live a prideful and proud life. Like I said before, I'm a proud fisherman. I'm a proud daughter. I'm a proud American. I'm a proud construction worker. I'm a proud violinist. I'm all these things I'm proud of. And they say, no, that's okay. That's good. That's good. You can be that. But don't put it before Jesus. Don't go before God. Don't put the pride before them. No. There's a pecking order. There's a certain algorithm that God has instructed into us and put into our genes to make us aware of who we are and what we're about. That is the reality of that. That is, that's a sadness, but it can be remedied. Let me continue.
All ages of life, every corner of the world. So in that sense, marketing, yes. Sensationalism and fiction, no.
For young pilgrims, the proof is in his relatability.
There's an element of recognition between what he went through and what I'm going through in my everyday life.
In jeans and sneakers, Carlo Acutis reminds the faithful that sainthood can be as ordinary and as extraordinary as the life of a teenager. Now, sainthood took on warp speed under Pope Francis, who named more saints than any pope in history. He would have named Carlo Acutis saint as well if Pope Francis hadn't died earlier this year. Tomorrow, it will be Pope Leo making his first canonization, that of St. Carlo. Michelle?
All right, Chris, thank you so much.
Pope Leo XIV opened a new Vatican-run ecological training center in the Italian countryside Friday.
Okay, I don't care about that. I care about this young Acutis guy.
Tonight, a new saint in jeans and a sweatshirt.
Carlo is a sign of hope.
Carlo Acutis, an Italian teenager who died in 2006 from leukemia.
Carlo Acutis dressed like a typical teenager, and he may not fit the image most of us have of a saint.
But this Sunday, Acutis will be canonized by Pope Leo as the first millennial saint. Chris Livesay has his story.
He wore jeans and Nikes and loved to write computer code. As a preteen, he started building a website cataloging miracles around the world. It went viral, spreading his global reputation as God's influencer.
A genius with the internet, but at the same time, this passion of life, passion for holiness.
I'm here at the tomb of Carlo Acutis, the Catholic Church's first millennial saint. Now, he died of leukemia in 2006 at the age of 15. He's someone who has developed a huge following from young people across the world, and there are thousands of pilgrims coming to his tomb at this time. Now, I spoke to Carlo Acutis' mother, who explained to me why he is such a popular and relatable figure.
So Carlo is an instrument, of course, like all the saints, that they remind us that it's possible. Holiness is not only for some people, yes, some people no. And Carlo, it's a model that is possible for everybody because he did a normal life. He was a normal child who used to live like all the child of his age, the school, the sports, the family, the friends.
Now, when people think of saints, they often imagine men and women from long ago dressed in robes depicted in statues. But as you can see, Carlo Acutis is laid out wearing jeans and trainers. It makes him a very relatable saint, which is important for the Catholic Church at a time when it is trying to connect with a younger generation.
This will be Pope Leo's first canonization.
His first canonization, but like I said, the pride thing. Pride is so essential to human life. Pride is essential to you being a human being. It is essential to you being an egoistic, selfish, rational being. That's all that it means. That's all that pride means. It means that you have within your mind that you like Ayn Rand once said, that you're right and that you are right. That's the difference. That's what champions. She was an advocate and a champion for pride. Definitely, she was from the school of Aristotle, and she embarked on her own philosophy, and it held up the idea that pride is the crown of all virtues, and it is the absolute. It is the greatest way of conveying yourself, not as some, I'm just, I'm all right, I'm just another guy, I'm just another girl, I'm just another person, whatever the case may be. I'm just everyday Joe Schmo, and it doesn't matter, No, you have to say, I am who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I mean, you got to give it to the queer community. They definitely took the name and ran with it. Pride Month in June. They really ran with it. They took pride and revolutionized it again. Like they took the rainbow flag, and they took the word gay, and they took the word queer, and revolutionized all these different ideals to fit their own agenda. So you have to say, tip of the hat to the queer community, because they may have put in a different way of what pride really means, because the faith in the queer community kind of are like, they're not water and oil, but they're kind of like hot water and ice. Like the ice can go in the hot water, but it's melting into it. It's creating more water. My analogies with water are probably not too good, but you get where I'm saying, hopefully. Like they're saying pride. We have pride. I'm proud that I'm this. Z snaps and everything. I'm proud I'm this way, But they'll say I was born this way. God wanted me to be gay. God wanted me to be lesbian. God wanted me to have what is it called? An operation to be a transgender. Like it can go either way. Most people that are in the queer community probably aren't atheists. That they aren't objectivists. Definitely not objectivists. The people in the queer community are more so attuned to God even. Like they want to have gay pastors, and they want to have lesbian ministers and stuff like that. So it just goes with the territory. It's just weird. But when I say pride, I mean completely fulfilled, totally focused self-regard. That is what pride is, and it has to be earned. That's if you get one thing from me, it has to be earned pride. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm proud of just because I am." You can't just say that because of who I am. Yes, because of what you made, what you created, what you built, what you struggled against, to get to the best part of life and of living. That's pride. That's living in a prideful way. That's the real reason why pride is so important. You have to really look at the facts of it. So I'm gonna go back to the video.
And he's a Chicago Pope. And for us, a Chicago Pope is canonizing the patron of a Chicago parish. Saints in the past were not always world figures. They were the saint next door. Those are the words of Pope Francis. Carlo Acutis is all of that.
Him being the first millennial saint is really puts a staple into the Catholic Church. Carlo Acutis, he did a lot of great things at such a young age, and it's very inspiring and motivating that we can do the same thing.
You can use technology to play video games and stuff, but you can also use technology to bring you closer to God.
You see how dangerous this is? These are young people. These are children. The irony, we try to keep danger from our children, but we teach them to say grace. We teach them about stories from the Bible. We keep them away from guns and house cleaner and things of that nature, but their minds, the most important thing. I mean, obviously, you don't want them to be near guns and kitchen cleaner, grease cleaner, but their minds are just as important as well as their bodies. So to teach them all these things about Jesus and God and hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, in the name of the blood and the Father, that's as detrimental as them ingesting those chemicals or those insecticides or pesticides or anything like that. Just as going out into a street, not walking, looking both ways, It's just as important. It's just as important. Just as important. And so, you know, what comes with it, it's not God, obviously, because there is no God. It has to be ideas surrounding the thought of God. He doesn't want to be, it's all God. He's almighty, he's all-knowing, he's omniscient, he's all powerful, he's omnipotent, he's all present, omnipresent. So you can't be proud. That's how the devil found, his way to hell, or not even to hell. He's in our midst. Apparently, according to the scriptures, he's the king. He's the ruler of the kingdom of the air. And what that means is he has dominion over this earthly body, this earthly landscape, this world. That's what he has power over. So we, to look at that, to really express that, to show that, that really means that it's powerful and very, very optimized way. It's optimal. I would say that with pride comes not there's a scripture. Excessive pride or arrogance can lead to a person's downfall or humiliation. It's from Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So it's not pride goes before a fall. It's pride goeth before destruction. Destruction of what? Some things need to be destroyed. Destruction is an objective statement. Some things need to be demolished. Some things need to just be destroyed. So pride goes before that. And then if you wanted to say in that vernacular that people use, pride goeth before a fall, all you have to say is, okay, so you pick your ass back up and start going again. Like, okay, let's say, quote unquote, Steve Jobs fell, quote unquote. He fell, he got tossed out of his own company that he built with his blood, sweat, and tears. He created with his own might of his mind, and a board whisked him out. He was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do something totally different. I'm gonna make this black cube that's not gonna super revolutionize anything, but I've got to do something to get back in this game. I love it too much. I love the beauty of computing so much. I really got to get back at this. And so he makes the I think it was this cube or something like that. It was something. What was it? Hold on. I gotta look it up because I can't remember. Next, that was it. The Next computer system. Next, it wasn't Cube. It was Next computer system. Then he went to help found Pixar. Then they were like, you know what? Let's bring Steve back. Let's see what happens. And then they just revolutionized the company. It becomes $1 trillion business, and he passes away. Why not Steve Jobs as a saint? Make him a saint. I don't think he was a strong believer. I don't think he was an atheist necessarily, but I don't think he was a strong believer anyway. But the way he revolutionized the world, not to say that Acutis, did what he did. He had on his level of spreading, computer literacy throughout the lands. But Steve Jobs definitely deserves sainthood without question. The way he just completely revolutionized the entire game of computing and engineering and leadership and the workforce, and he deserves sainthood without doubt. Without doubt. But I think I've stretched my hour a little bit too long, so I appreciate everybody that made a comment that I did not respond to. I'm experimenting. Nobody gave a Cash App. Nobody wanted their question or their comment identified because they didn't send me a Cash App or PayPal, or maybe they sent a PayPal or a Venmo. I didn't see anything saying it. So. All right, so I will see you sometime tomorrow. Most definitely in the morning. I'll see you. All right, take care.